Good morning, rich and sexy people. It's me, your motivational speaker, role model, relationship guru, financial advisor, and the skinniest supernova alive. And today is our first YouTube video. I asked you on my Instagram for the topic of the video that you wanted to see, and I read your responses. I didn't like them. But I decided to start with the basics, with the things that you need to know, because if you don't know them, you're going to flop very hard. So today we're going to talk about how to not flop with men. Could you please use your manpower to open the bottle? So in order for YouTube gods not to demonetize me, let's agree together that we are not drinking wine, we're drinking the blood of Jesus. It's amazing. Merlot is one of my favorite wines out there. Highly recommend. Tell me in the comments what you prefer, white or red wine. I strongly prefer red wine. I feel like once you tasted good red wine, there's no way back. Anyways, so tonight we're gonna be discussing a very important topic, how to not flop with men. Let me tell you, you might know me as the femme fatale of the internet. You may know me as the person who has the wisest advice, but I did my fair share of shit. When I first came to Paris, I was heartbroken at least 3 times. I'm not even joking. And when I remember the things that I did, I wish I had a gun. This video is gonna be suitable for girls, especially. Girls need to watch that video. For gays, and if you're a straight guy that is watching my videos. So mistake number 1, which is you stupid bitches. Do you see someone with a flashlight? Right there.
Yeah.
Nina.
It's like a guard.
Nina.
You get way too impressed on the first date. You need to understand the way men work, the way everybody works. We want to be our best version of ourselves on our first date, right? You're not gonna speak about things you are not good at on the first date, right? Especially men. You know the bird peacock, like the one that has like this tail? It's, you know, like it's actually male species that does that to impress a female. It's the same shit on the first date. A guy on the first date is going to be perfect. So every time you go on the first date and you think, oh my God, he's so amazing, he's so great, he did this, this, and this. Yeah, divided by 3. First date is not representative. And I don't care if you tell me that, but oh my God, we talked about so many personal stuff, like we connected on such a deep level. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Don't be a fool. Don't be stupid. You didn't. They only showed you the part of themselves that they wanted to show you. I have so many friends who come to me, who call me after their first date and they tell me, oh my God, this guy is so perfect. He does this, this, and this. And I'm like, calm down. Take a deep breath. Have a glass of water. You know the thing that especially like surprises me when I have someone and when, for example, a girl telling me about their first date and she's like, oh my God, and you know, like he even paid for it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, if he invited you, that's common etiquette. You know, if he didn't pay for it, that would mean he doesn't even have manners. You know, why are we getting too excited? First date, you don't even care about it. If it went really well, you enjoy it, it's cool, but you don't make any conclusions based on the first date. Not even the second date. Third date is when you start seeing a person. He told you that he is a top salesperson, but then on the third date, you actually discover that he sells online courses, you know, to people, you know? So, the next thing that's very important, and I used to be very guilty of that, especially when I was really young and stupid, which is stop falling for words. You know this theory, 5 languages of love? It's not even scientific. Basically, there are 5 different languages, and one of them is words of affirmation. Basically, you like when people shit in your ears, right? Like the more they shit in your ears, the more they tell you stuff that you want to hear, the happier you are. I used to be that type. I used to be that type so much. I feel like you could have abused me, but then if you kind of like said, after all of that, you told me, but you're the most important person for me, I would say yes, and you shouldn't. Words cost nothing. And guys, they know what to say. Like, they know what to say in the moment to make you feel better. You know, when I hear my friends or someone tell me, but you know, he's sad, like, he's sad I'm the most important person. Yeah, like he keeps fucking 5 people a day, but like he's sad that I'm like his priority, you know, he's sad. That means nothing. Every time a guy says something, you don't care. Actions are louder than words. Number 3, the next mistake that I did a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people did too, but I am guilty as fuck of that, is stop trying to fix him. You know, when a guy tells you that he's emotionally unavailable, it actually means he's emotionally unavailable. What happens is, him, you know, I'm actually emotionally unavailable, I'm not ready for a relationship. What we hear, he needs my help to do better. With my help, he can finally discover true love. I remember when I was 18, 19, 20, my zodiac sign is Cancer. You need to know that. And so some of my decision making is also cancerous. I'm known for that. Like, people literally know me for that. I would pick, especially when I came to France, and you know, gay community is already a quite cutthroat dating environment. Then you are in Paris, and the cities like Paris only make it worse. And then I was also dating Parisian-born French guys. So basically, I started my dating life on impossible difficulty mode. You know what I mean? You know this feeling when you call your friends and you're like, no, but like, yeah, like he's fucked up and he's so fucked up with everyone. But with me, he's different. With me, like, I understand him like nobody does. I will fix him. Yeah. That's ridiculous. I often get like this question, Nikita, he's emotionally unavailable, how I get him into a relationship? And let me tell you, yes, there are ways that you can finesse a guy into a relationship, kind of push him towards that, manipulate even him towards that. But in the end, you will be drained. You will not be happy. He will not give you love, you know? You will score the relationship with the person, but you will not be fulfilled at all within that relationship. He will drain you. He will be the vampire. When they tell you that they're emotionally unavailable, that means you're like, okay, take time to heal yourself, bye. You shouldn't be their therapist, especially when it's unpaid. Okay guys, so in the middle of the video, I decided to switch the position. I decided that you would feel more cozy with some fire behind. By the way, I'm wearing my iconic, I don't know, peignoir. Actually, people think it's Adidas, but it's not. Let me tell you. Actually, I got it when I was a cheerleader in China, and we had a performance, and we got it for the team. This shit costs like €5. I'm not even joking. Like, we got it from AliExpress. But every time I wear it, people somehow fall in love with it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it. But just like, so you know, like this, piece of cloth that you can probably use to wipe your floors with is like €5. But it somehow fits. It fits the ambiance. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So we are talking about the 4th mistake that especially my female friends make a lot, and that's you're way too emotional. Don't daydream about the guy that you like. Don't imagine these fake scenarios when you meet someone, and you imagine these fake scenarios where, oh my god, he's so great, like I can imagine us spending, I don't know, like the holiday together, getting married, naming our kids, and cringy shit like that. That's cringe. Don't do that. What happens in this time, you trick your brain into thinking that you have an intimate connection with the person that actually doesn't happen. It's actually not real. Because you reinforced these beliefs, because you were imagining this stuff, you kind of tricked... Okay. Because you were imagining this stuff, because you were, creating these scenarios and visualizing all of this, your brain now thinks that you and this person have a more intimate connection than there actually is. And then what happens... For example, this person actually does not live up to this expectation in your head, and you just get frustrated. But actually, in fact, when you think about it, the person did nothing wrong. It's just you, in your head, you built some unreasonable expectation. You, in your head, created this vision of what you could have been, but it's not true. Actually, a lot of advice that I'm saying, I feel like I'm going through basics, But a lot of my audience is in their early 20s. So I felt like I had to say that. So for you guys, it's very useful. For the guys of my age, are you already looking for a casket? Let me know if you have a good contact, because, you know, we're there. And another thing, I noticed that some people, again, especially girls, when you have a fight, a conflict with a guy, you get too emotional. And by that I mean a guy did something bad and then you write this long text saying like, you know, I didn't deserve it. I gave you this and that. And, you know, I thought we're this and this. I thought you loved me and I love you so much. And I can do this and this for you. And you cannot do this and this. And like, you know, that's so unfair and my feelings are hurt. That's embarrassing. Unless a guy really loves you and he really deeply cares about you, he's gonna skip that message. I'm telling you, I have a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, who is like one of the nicest and kindest people I've met. But then he had this situationship with someone, and then in the end, he didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? So he started ghosting his situationship. This person started sending my friend messages like, oh, you're this and this. In the end, you're like other guys, this and this. And I remember my friend was like, I don't care, you know? And he just like dropped his phone. I feel like girls often sit there and they look for this justice, for this, they want to express their emotions, want to prove that, you know, I love you, I can give you all of this. And then they ask their girlfriends for help and they're like, yes, girl, in this long fucking paragraph, you know, of 24 pages, he's gonna truly understand. He can't even read 5 texts in a row, you know what I mean? If you send him 5 texts, he's gonna reply to the last one. You expect him to read your 24-page fucking essay about how you feel? He doesn't care. Even though you're right, even though he did shit, you look needy. You look desperate. Even though you just want justice, even though you just want to show him that you care. He in that moment thinks, oh my God, she's too much. She's suffocating. Like I can't. Like she's too much. Not only that, you just feed his ego. Now he thinks you're obsessed with him. When something happens with a guy, and actually, like I could make a separate video on that. I feel like when something happens with a guy, it's actually the golden time to guilt trip him. Something happens with a guy, you cannot get too emotional. You need to be very concrete and just trust me. Just trust me the difference. No, like there is, I feel like it's called desk. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up. I feel it's called desk for management. You know, like the way to give feedback, like description, emotion, solution, conclusion, desk theory or something like that. It's kind of like this. Your message needs to be short, clear, and powerful. You're not begging. You're not trying to prove yourself. You're not trying to whine about how you feel. You say very concretely, you did this, and this. It's fucked up because this, and this. You're a piece of shit because this and this. If you think we're gonna continue like that, no. If you want to have me back, you have to fight for it. Done. A very short message. Actually, at that time, the guy will activate. You will come from a position of power. He will not sense weakness. You know, if he senses weakness, he's like, oh, whatever, I can do whatever. If he senses your power, if he understands that you can just throw him out of your life like this. So I think this is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Text me in the comments if you agree or disagree. If you agree, amazing. If you disagree, it's okay to be wrong. My opinion is absolute. Bisous.